Hey guys, what I have here is a Savage Model 64 semi-automatic rifle. I've probably shot 1,500 shots or so through it, and it definitely needs to be cleaned and taken apart. So this video is just going to be showing you how to get the gun apart and what the internals on it are like. The first things you're going to need are an Allen key. It doesn't say what size it is, I just have one that happens to fit. You will need a 7/16 wrench and a Phillips and flathead screwdriver. First things first, you can leave your scope on and it should be fine to take apart. So just start by undoing your bottom Allen keys here. I've already loosened up mine before I started because they were on there pretty tight. So you just take your plate off here. Once you get your plate off, with a bit of work, mine comes off easy, your stock comes right off. So once you get your stock off, the first thing you're going to want to do is take your 7/16 wrench. You are going to come down here to this bolt here, and that should just come right off. Set that aside. And you got to get this piece off here. Pulls out. Slides out, I should say. Next step is getting your barrel apart. It should just kind of twist off carefully. There we go. Take that right off there. Set that aside. From there, you're going to want to take your we're going to take the trigger off. You don't need to clean your trigger unless you think it needs it, so you'll just unscrew this here. Careful not to lose the lock washers on the back either. This one's a little tight. There we go. Got my trigger off. Like I said, mine doesn't need to be clean, but you can clean yours if you want. Once your trigger's off, this should all, that pin will come out. Everything here should just slide right on out. I don't know if you can see. Let me try to focus it a bit more here. May not focus. Mine's got a whole bunch of gunpowder and just gunk all built up here, so that's mine's not cycling right. So I'll have to go ahead and pull everything out of here and just clean it up real good. This guy will come out. Yeah, it's all sludgy in there. It's really got to be cleaned out. So there we go, that's how to take it apart. Better start cleaning it now. So unfortunately I got the whole thing put back together and didn't realize that my camera stopped recording. So anyways, I took it all apart. I've already oiled it, I've cleaned everything out. Here's my solvent there. Everything is clean now. I've cleaned all up in here. It was all full of gunk, everything's out. Make sure to clean your magazine holder as well. That got gunked up pretty well and can cause issues. Barrel has been cleaned. I just used the aluminum rod style to clean it. Just be careful when you're using it that you don't damage your rifling inside your barrel, especially at the ends here. Sometimes everything's not totally even and it will, when you go to stick it in your barrel, which I always do from the back going to the front, travel the way the bullet goes. Sometimes here when you're doing it, if this isn't totally even here, it might catch on the edge of your barrel and it could damage it, so just watch that when you're doing it. So I'll put the stuff aside and we'll put it back together and I'll show you what to do. First off, you want to get your bolt and everything back in. This piece goes this way, so your bumps and everything facing down. It will slide right into the top, just like so. You will bring it over, slide it in, get this guy in, and so on and so forth. So that's in, we know that's going to work. Get everything here. Get your trigger back in. Your trigger goes in before your magazine holder does. Sure that's all lined up. Take that out. Make sure to give everything one good tighten, make sure it's on good. Everything's tight. Time to get the barrel back on. Everything's all clean on the barrel now. When you're putting this piece back on, the long end goes pointing towards the end of the gun, the short end goes pointing towards your action. Had a little bit of trouble getting this guy on. Just drop my Allen key there. Getting this slide piece on. It works better if you just slide it in from the side rather than just place it on like I was before. I got this bolt put back in, so we'll just snug that up there. Everything is tight there now. All that is left to do is get our stock back on. Grab this. Get the stock back on. Like I said, probably shot 1,500 shots to this gun. The barrel was surprisingly clean, probably because my last 500 or so had been plated. It wasn't just pure lead, it was hollow points. Copper, I believe it was copper plated hollow points. And that would help clean out some of the lead from the barrel, so it was surprisingly clean. It was mostly just gunpowder and stuff that was stuck in the action. That was gumming it up from cycling proper. It was still shooting accurate, just wasn't cycling right. Maybe one of every 20 shots was getting jammed, so this should fix that issue. Tighten this up. This Allen key is actually a 5/30 seconds. I just looked it up. So you will need a 5/30 seconds Allen wrench to get this off. Or back on in this case. And back together, we should have a fully functioning gun, all clean, ready to go. I did oil the barrel and everything. Like I said, my camera had shut off. Barrel and everything's oiled, action, everything's cleaned and oiled, and it should be good to go. Thanks for watching.